Yay!
Give me the mic. You need that evening action. A place to dine, a glass of wine, a little late romance. It's a chain reaction. You see the people of the world coming out to dance. All the music in the air and lots of love in every way. Give me the mic. Yeah. Give me the mic. 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 Yeah. Give me the mic.
Check 1, 2. So just bring the microphone levels down now.
Okay. What's going on, people? Welcome to the first Crossfader live stream in a while. Just to let you behind the scenes, it has taken us ages to set this up. But we got there. Welcome. First thing you need to do, let us know. Let me know, let the team know where you are watching from in the world, so we can give you a shout out. Let's go. We got the Philippines in the building. Big love from Ghana as well. Hello from Kazakhstan. DC in the building. Indonesia. Sunny Wigan. So big love, people watching from India, Nottingham, England, Huddersfield, New York in the building, Buffalo. We've got Germany out here. Big love. Brazil, down in Cornwall. Welcome. My name is Lawrence James. We're going to be going in the mix and we're going to be doing a Q&A as well. We've got Jamie and Danny waiting to take your questions. So if you have any questions related to DJing, tricks, transitions, anything you want to know today, let us know in the comments. In 10 minutes time, we'll do a Q&A. I've also got some tutorials as well, all within the next hour, hour and a half. Let's go. Big love to Ghana, Western Canada, Virginia, Nepal, South Korea, Northern Ireland, Rochester.
freak. You gotta teach me, 'cause everybody knows I'm a big freak. I'm a big freak. I'm a big freak. Take me to church, you gotta teach me. I'm a big freak.
So once again, welcome to the Crossfader live stream wherever you are in the world. We are going to be taking some Q&A, some questions, so feel free to drop some questions in the chat.
I'm a big freak, take me to church, you gotta teach me.
So once again, drop a comment wherever you are watching in the world. Canada, we've got New York in the building, sunny Cornwall as well. So, big up Game Future in the building. Question on using the echo properly. So basically, echo all comes down to the number of beats that you have set up, basically. So if your master, the master of this song, the BPM of this song is 127 BPM. If my echo is set to 127 BPM on one beat, then it will echo every single beat. And then we go down to a half beat and so on. So what I'll do is, I'll transition out of this using an echo, a one beat echo, into our next song. So this is a one beat echo. So it echoes every beat. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just need to make sure that your master is set up properly on the echo, and you can change the beats to half or a one beat or a two beat. Four Crows asks, where Addy asks where to download tech house music. I use doingthedamage.com or the mashup.co.uk.
What you really want? What? Stop acting nonchalant. What you really want? What? Stop acting nonchalant.
What's up, everyone? Yo. Right, it's nice to be back on the live stream, and obviously we're doing a bit of Q&A, so we've been collecting the questions that you've been putting forward. There's a lot of questions about sourcing music, where to get music from, which record pools to use, where to get fire tracks that nobody knows about. So let's kind of bunch all those questions together and have a quick discussion about it. So let's go this way then. Where do you get your music from? Because you hunt for music.
I do. I look for a lot of different music. My main one is probably Beat Source, closely followed by Bandcamp as well. Bandcamp's a great place for finding like these more underground artists that haven't like, they're actively trying to get their music out there. They just want it to be like put out and heard by people who appreciate that sort of music. So yeah, it's Bandcamp, Beatport. They're my go-tos.
I'm really loving the streaming services at the moment. I think now with the offline locker, it's a bit of a game changer. Beatport is obviously for dance music, house music, electronic music. I'm kind of go-to for there. And again, Beat Source for the other side of the industry. But then for sourcing music that's like unreleased or unheard of, I think it just comes down to like tune hunting, which is basically you end up down a rabbit hole online. Yeah. You might find an artist that you like that isn't maybe a huge producer. It might be like a local producer to your country or something like that, an up-and-coming producer. And then if you go and say like SoundCloud or YouTube and then start going down related tracks, related artists to the one that you like, you can start to discover more and more music. But SoundCloud is another one of those places where you've got those up-and-coming producers that will probably put out like amazing remixes, but they're not signed yet and they're unofficial remixes, but can really make your set stand out. So
absolutely.
I think that's one of my go-tos is just diving down the internet and seeing what we come across. A lot of people asking about the bars in the back of the
always
in all our videos, always asking what are those bars. So they are the SpectraPix buttons. So we'll put the name of them in the chat after this, but SpectraPix buttons, they've got sound activation, so you can turn your music up loud and it will react to the sound. Or they do work. We managed to get them working with Sound Switch as well, so you can automate a light show with them. Sound Switch added their integration in because it wasn't originally, and we were like, we need it. So yeah, thanks to them, they added it in. So yeah, they're not too expensive either. Highly recommended. You can mount them on the wall or you can put them on stands. You can do either. So what else have we got here? Someone asked about, should DJs also produce music?
Not necessarily. You don't have to. There's a lot of DJs that have made great careers of just being DJs, playing other people's music, but I feel like it's definitely not a bad path to go down, especially if you feel like you have the urge to make your own music and you've got ideas, then yeah, go for it. But by no means do you have to be a producer to be a DJ as well.
No, not at all. I mean, you can look at, there's some big radio DJs out there that don't produce music. Then you've got like certain people in certain industries, like DJ EZ springs to mind, where he doesn't really produce music, but he's a very well-known DJ in his kind of field and in those genres. But yeah, if you want to become an artist, a lot of the main stage, like headline DJs will also be producing music. So it's kind of a natural progression. A lot of people start as a DJ and then dip the toe into music production. Like you said, a great way is to sort of make some bootlegs and mashups, or just start doing small edits of tracks to start with before trying to produce a finished song.
Yeah.
So that's a good way into that kind of world of music production. Someone else asked, switching from Tractor to Pioneer, good or bad decision? It's not good or it's not bad. I mean, you started on Tractor and you've moved on from that.
I've gone from Tractor to Record Box to Serato. It's all personal preference. Like, what I find is the most important thing is what do you get the better set out of yourself with, if that makes sense. It's like what makes you put on the best set. So if you're going to do a better set on Tractor than you would on Record Box, stick with Tractor. Then
I would say Record Box is easier to kind of get started with or implement, or just put a standard set together, or to rock up to a club and plug a USB in. That's like the easiest route to performing a set. But the beauty of Tractor, and still the selling point of Tractor, is all of its extra features. Like, it's got very unique effects that are very like intricate and you can do a lot with. They're very much about shaping your sound. You've got remix sets in there where you can obviously build like samples of music into almost its own individual song, and you can do way more with samples and these remix sets than you can with other softwares. So that's kind of the standout feature. It's almost a bit of a hybrid, as if you were going to program a set in Ableton with loads of samples and loops and one shots, but you can kind of do that on the fly live in Tractor as well. So it's a bit of a hybrid there. So depends where you want to go with it in the long run. Okay, there's 2 more questions, then we'll go back to Loz, who's got a little routine prepared to break down. Planning a set or just going with the flow? That's a very good question. And I think this comes down to, me personally, it's somewhere in between. I do a lot of preparation on music, and it comes down to listening to the music more than anything. Even if you don't plan anything with it, if you listen to the music and get to know it, you will 9 times out of 10 put on a better transition or a better set overall. But I think what I usually do is I'll have playlists of good sets of songs, or maybe an approach to a certain event that I'm playing or a certain genre. But it's not a case of putting track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order. It's about having a vibe in a place that you can locate easily, and then maybe having another type of vibe, maybe more warm up in another place, and then go with the flow of the audience.
Absolutely.
Are you similar?
I was just gonna say, like, I've done the same thing where I'll put a bunch of tunes together that I know will work on the night, but never plan them one after the other. Like, all the best nights, and it might be the same with you, all the best nights I've ever had have just been where I've just winged it all night, just had the tunes 100%. There, but just gone with the flow.
I think because you feed off the energy of the crowd.
And
there's a difference. If you were to put a mix out onto SoundCloud or Mixcloud or something, then you are going to prepare it more, and you want it to be like the best it can be. But when playing to an audience, you want to take them into account as well, and by planning before that, you don't really take them into account. You've already set out what you want to do, so always keep that in mind. And then last question, DJing with or without a laptop? Well, this is interesting because I love DJing with a laptop, and I like DJing with everything now because it depends on what I'm doing. I do a lot of obviously content for Crossfader, and we do lots of tutorials, so I'm bouncing around between the two. Now, if I was to play a gig, from just ease of use, I love just playing with a USB stick. But if I want to get more creative and do more performance-based things, then I think a laptop opens me up to that a bit more, especially with the open format mixing, because I can load tracks quicker. Now, I know you were USB DJ for years, but you've recently been re-inspired, haven't you?
With Serato, like I used Serato for years, and then I moved to Record Box, but I found that, it's like you were just saying, it's so much easier and quicker to get around your library, like just pulling for those tunes in seconds. Serato's the one, or any other, laptop software. But with the Record Box on a USB, like you say, it's so much easier. It's a lot nicer setting up in the club, just putting in and out.
100%. Last question that I've just seen pop up: how often do you see Den and Gear in the booth? Never really.
No, I've never have.
Still not in any of the main booths that we come across.
No,
unfortunately. So shall we get back to Loz? Have you got a set prepared? Come on, let's switch
go.
back.
Yes, so we're going to do a little tutorial, guys. So what I want to show you is kind of two ways that we can mix in these next two tunes. Now, the first one we're going to do is a drop swap. So we're going to swap in where the drop comes in for another track. And then we're going to do the same mix again, but we're going to use a double drop. So the first one, a drop swap. And what I like to do with a drop swap is we all know that hot cues trigger certain parts in the track. But with the drop swap, we can also use them as markers in a tune. So what I like to do is I will set a cue point as a marker on the drop. So I've got a blue cue point here on the drop on deck number 2 and a blue marker on the drop on deck number 1 as well. So I know that that's where the drop comes in. So what I will then do is I'll go 32 beats backwards, just using a beat jump, and I'll set a cue point 32 beats before and on the same side. So we've got 32 beats and a drop. So I know that once the track comes to the marker in the track, I can set off this second cue point on deck number 1. So it just triggers a little marker, and then they should both drop at the exact same time. So if I just go back a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm waiting for my yellow cue point, my second cue point to come in on the track, and we're just going to trigger it. 1, 2, 3, 4, play, and begin mix. So that marker just gives us a visual reference, especially when we're like in a live mix. We can just place them, and I like to make sure that they're the same cue point, so you know they're both yellow or they're both blue. A good way to do it would be if you have your regular cue points on the first 4, and then you can have markers on the bottom 4 for your drop swaps and things like that. So that's one way to mix, just doing a simple drop swap. But what we can also do is, these tracks are in the same key, we can also perform a technique called double drops, where we keep both songs in playing at the same time. So this only works, it's mainly used in drum and bass music or bass music, dubstep, things like that, but we can use it in house as well. So it's the same technique. So we're going to go back 32 beats, we're going to catch our marker. So waiting for the marker to come in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we mix them in now, but I'm going to keep both tracks playing at the same time. Just going to cut the lows on number 2. So both tracks are playing, and the reason it works is because we drop them both in on the right phrase, and they are both in key. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen, we've recently just launched our brand new house mixing DJ course. Big love to all those that have already purchased it. If you want to learn more tricks like I've just shown there, you get 20% off right now. Use the code on the screen. Go to wearecrossfader.co.uk, check it out.
the nearest club. I just really need a hug. I could pour it all night long. Naughty water on my tongue. Take me to the nearest club. I just really need a hug. I could pour it all night long. Naughty water on my tongue. Don't know what to order. I just want some naughty water. Don't know what to order. I just want some naughty water. Don't know what to order. I just want some naughty water. Don't know what to order. I just want some naughty water.
Sometimes just too much of it to follow. So I used to go out clubbing and things of this nature back in the day. So we've always had a house before the world knew better. The world knew better. The world knew better. The world knew better.
Kilometers. I don't come kilometers. I don't walk that many kilometers. Learn from the teacher. I don't take for the game, she no pitas. I decide bad mind from a distance. Not this sweet, I be all on my pitas. Oh, Doguni Misha, show you the confirm for your speaker. This time I call chopsticks for assistance. Show we they blow your mind, Afghanistan. Kilometers. I don't come kilometers. I don't walk that many kilometers. Learn from the teacher. I don't take for the game, she no pitas. I decide bad mind from a distance.
Last night I dreamt of San Pedro. Just like I'd never gone, I knew the song. Young girl with eyes like the desert. It all seems like yesterday, not far away. Tropical, the island breeze, all of nature wild and free. This is where I long to be, La Isla Bonita. And when the summer played, the sun would sing so high, rain so my ear.
quick show ya. Put the pussy on ya, like I told ya. Give me all your numbers so I can phone ya. Your girl acting stank, then call me over. Not on the bed, lay me on your sofa. Call before you come, I need to shave my chocha. You do or you don't, or you will, I won't cha. Go downtown and eat it like a vulture. See my hips and my tips, don't cha. See my ass and my lips, don't cha. Lost a few pounds in my whips, for ya. It's the kind of beat that go ba-ta-ta. Ba-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Sex me so good I say blah, blah, blah. Work it, I need a glass of water. Boy, oh boy, it's good to know ya. Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's your primitive and flat yet. It's your primitive and flat yet. If you got a big, let me search it. To find out how hard I gotta work, yeah. It's your primitive and flat yet. It's your
Express yourself, release and go. Attack the flow and walk it low. Express yourself, release and go. Attack the flow, dip low. Release and go. Attack the flow and walk it low. Express yourself, release and go. Attack the flow and walk it low. Put your back in it. Get over, touch the flow. Get low. Nah. Get low. What you got? Drop to the beat, drop to the beat, drop to the beat, drop to the beat, move to the beat, move to the beat, move to the beat, move to the beat. You gotta drop to the beat, drop to the beat, drop to the beat, drop to the beat, move to the beat, move to the beat. You gotta hit the floor, explore some more, 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 some more. And it goes a little something like this.
Check. Is that coming through? So someone's asked about the resonance with the filter. So this parameter section over here is basically how harsh your resonance will be. So if I turn it right up, you'll hear on the filter it'll make like a kind of like a squeaky noise as I filter like that. So that's like a really sharp peak with your filter. But if I leave it there where it's sounding really horrible, but turn the parameter down, you'll see it's just like a nice high pass now. So the higher the parameter, the sharper the resonance, the lower, the less the resonance. Hope that makes sense.
Scat in the Benz, box of food, bend toe.
push you dead slow. While out and get low. This one here going straight to your dome. Talk like a king, but you got no throne. You're a little man, not full grown. I'm a boss like I got 2 phones. Heavyweight kilo. Bring it back like yo-yo. Rest in peace, you're dead slow. While out and get low. This one here goes straight to your dome. Talk like a king, but you got no throne. You're a little man, not full grown. I'm a boss like I got 2 phones.
Just in case you ain't got it by now, listen to me. Bring it in. If you are alive, I know you ain't reached your best yet. You got more. You can do more. You can see more. You can be more, all right? Right now, you should feel invincible, powerful, strong. Look, where your focus goes, your energy flows. Are you hearing me? I know you ain't reached your best yet. You got more. You can do more. You can see more. You can be more. All right? Focus goes, your energy flows. Are you hearing me?
What's up, everyone? We're going to do a quick Q&A again. We've got a few more questions to answer. So yeah, first of all, someone said, should I upgrade to the XZ or Rev 7 from the DDJ 1000 to stay relevant? So there's two parts to this question.
Yeah, there is.
Not to stay relevant, I don't think that's essential by any means, because it's not really about the equipment you've got, it's how you use it and obviously the sets you put together. But we all like to upgrade our equipment to give ourselves a bit of like, just want something new in the industry to kind of give me to re-inspire me to maybe approach it differently. So personally, I don't know about you, but I think the DDJ 1000 to the XZ isn't much of a change. You've just got a bigger, heavier unit, but the features that are on there are all very much the same. But you can obviously then get used to using USBs and not using your laptop, which is one of the pros to that.
Yeah.
But the Rev 7...
But if you're talking about a Rev 7, that's a totally different way of DJing, essentially. Like, if you're thinking, right, I want to give like turntablism a go or something like that, then definitely go for the Rev 7 if you can get hold of one. But it is two totally different things. But yeah, don't think of it coming from a relevant perspective, because as soon as you get a Rev 7, there'll be something out in 3 months, and you don't want to keep changing. But yeah, if you want to change your approach to DJing, or you want some new features or something like that, then that's when you should change, really.
I mean, just from experience, I had CDJs, and I actually sold my CDJs when I was younger to buy turntables, and they were just Technics turntables, obviously very old, not anything new, but that's because I wanted to learn to scratch, and it was a different approach, like you said, to DJing. So think about it that way. Someone else asked, what mic are we using? Well, you can see it's the same as these ones. They're actually Rodecaster. I'm not sure which ones, but the podcast mics. The reason why it's by the DJ setup is our usual microphone is at my house, so it's just not in the studio. Procaster, yeah. But they're good for podcasting.
Procaster.
But I wouldn't really recommend getting them for DJing with it. But it works well in the studio. Someone else, just regarding the live stream, asked about what cameras we use to live stream. Obviously, we film a lot of like high quality 4K content, so we're using the same cameras for live streaming as well, which is why the quality might look quite sharp. We've got some Panasonic, a GH5, GH6. They're the cameras we're using, so yeah, very reliable. Okay, should I use echo or reverb during build-ups to make them bigger?
Yeah, they do a similar thing. I think my mic's quite quiet, actually, Jamie. One sec. Bring your mic here. Someone's saying the mic's too quiet. Yeah, they both do a similar thing, echo and reverb. The echo will just kind of extend the build-up a little bit longer. Your reverb will kind of give you a bit more atmosphere. But they do work in a similar way. Definitely use both. Don't be doing the same transition every time. But I find that reverb works really well on like breakdowns as well, like on a cappella sections. So yeah, that's what they're both for.
Does this? Okay, so it's something wrong with your voice.
Yeah, it's my voice.
So while we're talking about reverbs, someone asked about what reverb settings, because he said that theirs just stays on forever.
Okay, yeah.
So I think with this one, if you're in record box, just make sure you haven't got it on like 100%. That will just stay on for a very, very, very long time.
Somewhere between 20 and 40.
Yeah, possibly. It depends what you want to do with it. If you want a bigger tail on the reverb, like you're mixing a track out, then you might want it about 50%.
Yeah.
If you're doing like little cuts in and out, or just want some atmosphere, then
like 20.
About 20 to 30%. Should work quite well. So are there any more questions that have come up in the chat? Can you see?
Yeah, there was one about whether you get popular tunes that aren't in DJ pools. Yeah, I mean, I made a big shift to streaming, huge shift to streaming, specifically Beatport, BeatSource, and I found that my creativity has gone through the roof, because I've suddenly got access to other DJs' crates, or top 50 Beatport or something like that, and they now act similar to a DJ pool in the sense that you can now store tracks offline. So if you are a laptop DJ, you can go to a club with your laptop, put all your tracks offline, and they're there ready for you if you don't even have an internet connection. So that's one way I would look at it, would be to start looking at streaming services and seeing if you can store tracks offline.
Yeah. Someone's just asked, how do you use the gate effect? Well, I've just recorded a reel this week that'll be going out on our Instagram at some point, which shows you a cool little trick that you can do with the gate effect. So we'll look out for that. And if you want to see behind the scenes of this live stream, Lawrence has just done a little behind the scenes story clip. So just head to @WeAreCrossfader on Instagram, and you can obviously see that reel when it goes live in a few days or in a week's time.
Hello guys, this will go on Instagram. Yo.
What's up to everyone that's locked in? Obviously, thank you so much to everyone that's locked in around the world. I know people at all different times right now. We're here in the afternoon in the UK. It's in office hours, but we're looking to do more live streams like this.
Sure.
I hope you're all enjoying it and getting some good stuff out of it. Obviously, we're doing a hybrid of just mixing, doing some breakdowns of the mixes, doing some mix techniques live, but also then doing some Q&As like this. So if you like this format, let us know. Obviously, we want to just provide as much value to you, the viewers, as possible. And like we've mentioned already in the live stream, for anyone that's joining later, we've got 20% off our courses just using an exclusive code called Live20. So you can get 20% off any of our courses, including our new house mixing course. But that code will only be active until tomorrow. So yeah, if you want to make use of that, go check out the website. We are crossfader.co.uk. Should we head back to Danny?
Bang some tunes on.
Yeah, let's do it.
Não podem ver os predadores. Eu vou falar pra tu.
Baby, how you dancing so? Never know you zoom zoom fat like so. You know all of me and my hype on you. To the left, from the right, from the right. Hey. Baby, how you dancing so? Never know you zoom zoom fat like so. You know all of me and my hype on you. To the left, from the right, from the right. Hey. Girl, work it, shake it, drop it. She got the zoom zoom. Girl, flip it, wind it, turn it, twist it, lock it, show them the zoom zoom. Girl, switch it, track it, back it. Yeah, you got the zoom zoom. Yeah, you got the zoom zoom. Back it.
On the floor.
Yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
It's been a pleasure. Like I say, we'll be definitely doing more of these. So obviously, keep a lookout on the YouTube. And thanks for locking in. Peace out.